I'm experiencing voodoo magic. None of my video cameras work for the last 2 days. This thing, all of a sudden, and all of them suddenly don't work. They have to repair the image database. This camera I was just using, and I was hitting record, and it just stopped. This one just stopped yesterday recording. The other camera won't record. Out of my 4 cameras I have here, this is the only one that works. And I didn't drop or get any of them wet. One of them fell from that table one time. I mean, I don't know what the fuck. It's fucking voodoo magic, dude. My life is voodoo magic. So we'll see if this thing, this is my go-to video camera, I guess. This is the only one that hasn't fritzed out on me. There's like some kind of electromagnetic energy coming out of my fucking body or something, causing these things to not work. I've got frickin' 4 of them. Look at that. No, it's not, though. It thinks this fucking video camera's full. It's not. I'm gonna have to buy new video cameras. I'm gonna have to stick them all in my computer and get them like reformatted or something. I have no idea what's happening. So anyways, at least this camera is still recording. So, now that is weird. You gotta understand that's weird. I'm not just bitching. Imagine having 4 video cameras and 3 of them just don't work for no reason whatsoever, 2 days in a row. So anyways, yeah, I was up until 3:30 last night, and working, and then or maybe 1:30, and then they made me take an hour and a half off. At 2:53, it was going to switch it back on, Chat-GTP. I was able to work all day yesterday, and then they switched it off for 15 minutes. I went into the store and got a drink. Then I came back. I was working. And then they made me take like an hour off, and then I went and got dinner, and then it made me take an hour and a half off. And then the alarm went off where I could reuse it again, but I was kind of like still groggy. It took me like forever to get to sleep, because it wasn't that long after I had it. But by the time the alarm came off, I was groggy. So I'm basically, like, I had 2 days off before this of exercise, so I could definitely exercise now, but the problem is, I think I've had a relapse. I've had a full-blown relapse for maybe another week or 2, because what I'm doing now, in fact, I should just, instead of film myself, let's just work as I talk so you know what I'm doing. So I gotta hit continue generating. So, like, I'm just doing Chat-GTP now, because apparently it's not doing it right, but it's doing it enough that I could finish the job with batch editing, because it's putting the codes around the words like I need to do. So yeah, it's doing the job just fine. So all I have to do is say, you know, do this one, and the instructions get it right every time. It had managed to that are this long, and so yeah, so this is a particularly long one. They don't always take this long. This one, 35 already. How many? Jeepers. 57 of them. So I basically, as that thing's going, I just sit around and watch music videos, smoke weed. I went and got weed yesterday. So yeah, the reason that I'm doing this now, thank God it's still recording, is that it's just going too fast. I can't balance while I'm doing this. But once it's done, I could be plopping in like a book a day, because it's just a couple of batch edits, and then you just plop it in. The links for the book are already created, so I don't even have to, you know, get into the actual book to do anything. So, but it was 3,300 pages that were how big the menus for all these books was, and I only started like a couple days ago. So this is like a big old project, you know, a week or 2. But it's just sitting around smoking weed. So I don't know, when this weed runs out, maybe I'll recalibrate. But And I should probably start listening to more like books and stuff, educate myself. But oh, and stretch, because as you can see, this is going on. This is 57. It took a few minutes, so I could have been stretching the whole time. So, but I'm not in the mood for doing it yet because it's just too trippy, you know, and I'm trying to keep it in. So this is the mother lode. So now I go over to moral treatise. I'm working on moral treatise now. And I don't even know by who. I think I may have finished Aristotle, or I'm doing Aristotle. So that's what it did. See, look. So what it did was it attached a link, 57. It attached a class, as you can see, metaphysics. And not only that, but it attached, you can't see it now because they're not attached to this page, but it attached another class to the word, numbered 5, with its own ID, 57. So it did 4 things. For 57 things, so more than 221 freaking things. Do you know how long it would have taken me to cut and paste 221 times? And it did, and this thing did it in like a minute with me just talking to the video camera. So I'll show you how this one works. What I do is I just click on the thing. It's got 29, so it'll take half as long as that last one. The ones with a lot of text take forever. And then you copy it. And then you paste it here. Now don't just paste it, because then it won't know what to do. It'll just spit it back. So you have to say, do this. And so now it knows. Now it knows to do it. And then I paste it. I hit return. And then I wait. And I do the same thing that I did before. I just copy the code. And I paste it back on. So it's just copy paste. So instead of copy pasting 221 times, I copy paste 1 time. And then I wait a couple of minutes and stretch. That's basically what Chat-GTP. Another reason that I'm doing Chat-GTP now is because Chat-GTP is kind of finicky. Like when I first started using it, it would let me work it for like an hour, and then it'd make me take an hour off, and then hour on, hour off, and I'm like, well, god damn it. And then yesterday I was able to do like 3 hours, 15 minutes off, 6 hours, hour off. So I think the reason they're letting me do it is because nobody's using Chat-GTP. People probably get frustrated with it. It's probably not smart enough to help people make web designs unless you're like me, you like high volume. I'm probably in the minority. And as far as a one-man show with Chat-GTP, I don't know. I could have the best use for it out of anybody. It's freaking perfect for me, for what I do. So, and I'm super curious to see how it can help me with my timeline, because my timeline still needs a lot of like legwork. The only section of my timeline that has the horizontal to the vertical linked is the Roman Kingdom. But if I could get Chat-GTP to connect horizontal to vertical timeline for my entire timeline instead of me, oh my god, that'd basically finish my timeline for me with Chat-GTP. So yeah, I'm kind of excited for that. But yeah, I can't get addicted though, because I'm sick. I don't feel good. This morning I woke up at like midnight, or I went to sleep at 1:30, and then I got up at like 3 in the morning for a little bit to smoke some weed or whatever, and I did a video of it. Maybe I'll attach it to this video, but I was sweating. I was basically showering in myself. It was like water just pouring off my nose and off my chin for no reason. I thought maybe it had something to do with the energy drink that I drank. The same thing happened to my grandfather. He died at 43. My mother's father, when she was 10, of a heart attack because he had his adrenal glands created too much adrenaline sacs on his adrenals that popped, got in his bloodstream, and increased his blood pressure and killed him. But her brother was saying that their father was doing that, was sweating like that all the time. So hopefully I don't have, and my cousin has that condition. So hopefully I don't have that condition. If I do, I guess that'll make me a Roman candle, but it could help me, my strength, if I have double the adrenaline. But No, I think it was mainly the I went and got my blood pressure taken a bunch of times when I was getting physicals when I had Medicaid, and I only came up with high blood pressure one time, and it was probably one of those fluke. But anyway, oh look, it's done. It just finished. So what I do is you copy, and then take it to the new page, highlight that, and then go down here to paste it on the code, and then you check. Make sure that it did it. Because yesterday I did 7 of those before I realized it wasn't even doing anything. Because I experimented with just pasting it instead of saying do this. So it just pasted it back to me. And I did 7 of these big ones before I even looked at it close enough to realize that it wasn't doing it. So that's why you want to make sure that you check. So there's that. Here, do this, and paste. And we're off to races. That's with 43 chapters, so that'll take a couple of minutes. That's the perfect one to do stretching with. But I'll do it pretty soon. I'll get into stretching. It's just that it's just so trippy to watch that I just don't have the motivation to stretch because when I'm a little bit too high. Like if I started stretching, I'd probably forget about this. Like that's how out of it I am. I went to the store last night and I left my phone in the car. Like it's just... Yeah, so it's just too distracting. When I can just basically turn on a spigot and watch the water fall out, like why would I? I think I should let the water fall out because what happens if everybody starts using Chat-GTP? Like all of a sudden I freak out and I start exercising all the time and I stop using Chat-GTP. Everybody else starts it, and then in a month or two I start it again, but now I can't use it. I have an hour on, hour off type of a deal because everybody's using chat. I think that's the reason why they're letting me use it all day long, because I'm like the only one using it. So, so anyways, I'm hungry. I'm going to have to get some food pretty soon. So that's my video for the day. Luckily, it managed to record the whole thing. I think from now on, I'm just going to do all my video camera recording with this camera. It's the one with all the stickers on it. Because these ones are just, the devil got into these. I don't know what the hell happened. So that's what I'm up to. Oop, gotta hit refresh. See what I mean? Like if I'm stretching, I could be stretching and concentrating on stretching, and this thing could want a refresh the whole time, you know? So what I want to do is finish this thing, and then once I'm done with it, then I could modulate myself by, I could do like a book a day, and it wouldn't even take that long, or a couple books a day. And I'd be like, holy shit, look at that, I did another book. And I'd be like, well, let's go and work out. I have that sense of accomplishment. That's the way. So anyways, that's enough. I'm going to sit back here. My mom's going to come in a couple hours and help me do some paperwork. I have to call the IRS. They keep telling me I owe money. And I don't think I have even money saved for taxes this year, which is freaky. Because I just blew a bunch of money. See, so I also need to sober up so I can figure out how to finance, because I don't want to make myself go broke. Nobody has given me money. Nobody gives me money. Nobody acknowledges I have a website. Even my own ex-wife. I decided I'm going to break up with her. I'm not going to get back together with her again. I was thinking about it. She keeps calling me. But I was talking to her the other day, and she goes, just out of the blue, she's like, what was that deal with you living in the van a few years back? I think you were running away from something, trying to avoid life, running away from life. And I'm like, because my mom has said that. And I was like, what was I doing with my time again? Do you remember? Oh, I don't know. What was it? What was I doing? All day. What was I doing? I was doing something all day. What was it? What was it? I was working on my. And she's like, what? Who? What are you talking about? And I'm like, bitch, you were my ex-wife. I was working on my website. And she's like, oh? And I'm like, yeah, the website. You should check it out. Really? And she's like, where is it again? And I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, so. I'm getting, in my old age, I'm getting more and more stubborn. I used to be the most easygoing dude ever, but now I'm like, look, if you can't acknowledge I have a website, we can't talk. All these people are trying to make friends with me on Facebook. I've got like 500 pending friend requests. And so the way that I create friends on Facebook to make new friends, because I'm at my maximum, it's everybody who says hi to me, I say hi, and then at my website. But every single time they either block me when I do that, or they say, what is that? Because they don't know what a website is. Or they just ignore me and they say hi. So then those people I block to create more friends. But not a single person has acknowledged I have a website. A couple people say nice. So I feel like, and I can't get a roommate. So I do feel like I live in the Matrix. Like I'm the only person in the world. So do not delete my website off the internet. That would be a bad idea. Very, very bad idea. I don't know what the hell I would do, but that could make people go unpredictable, do unpredictable things. Like, I told everybody about Atlantis, like 100 video cameras, 100 chapters, videos on YouTube, and not only one person acknowledged my video. It was a person who was just doing a fizzy volcano in their backyard, so it wasn't even serious. And then after everybody ignores me, next thing I know, they depixelate the entire region at the beginning of March. So you can imagine how that might make me feel. And so then I decided that I was going to proclaim myself to be the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. And when I did that, I felt so much better. I felt like, oh, okay, cool. Well, now I'm doing something. I'm being proactive. But then I'm like, well, why does nobody care that they depixelated Atlantis? Why does nobody? Oh shit! And then I realized nobody talks to me. That's kind of how it works. Like you say something, and then they go, oh shit, and then you say something else, and then you're like, yeah, I'm so smart. I keep saying these smart things. You're building rapport with the world. No, you're actually, every single thing you say, you're pushing them farther away from you, because people don't look at Google Earth. They don't have websites. They don't look at websites. If they do look at Google Earth, they don't care if there's pixelization or not. And yeah, it's just a bizarre generation alive today. I'm not impressed with people. I don't think you're very bright. But I'm the guy who got the D- in school. I could never get above a 2.5 in any semester, and then I realized they were just fucking with me. Because if you're below 2.5, they kick you out, and so they were just reserving being able to kick me out, and then I managed to stay above us 2.5, so they kicked me out anyway from just a made up religion or made up rule because the last class I had was a D-. But then he didn't give me the grade for 2 years. I mean, it's just woo. Joe Lounge, that was the motherfucker's name, over at Fort Lewis College. I'm going to ignite a full-blown assault on Fort Lewis College on YouTube. And I don't think YouTube's gonna mind, because YouTube is starting to get bored with all of these boring-ass motherfuckers just repeating the same thing to each other. We need more actual doers like me who make the world change. And so even if I get up there and I start saying how these bullshit piece of shit universities actually work. So fuck you, Fort Lewis College. Fuck you, school. And if anybody gives you below an A in school, then just drop out, because they're using you as a weapon. They're using school as a weapon against you to boost retarded people so they can get in Yale and Harvard and turn into J.D. Vance, and then we can have a fascist dictatorship. So anyways, that's enough talking. I'm going to get going on my work again. Talk to you tomorrow.